What's going on, guys? It's your boy Zooko here, and today I'm here to bring you guys my video that is finally here with all of the labbing now done to make this a fully fleshed out video. This is going to be the best team comp in the entirety of Marvel Rivals. Now, you have to ask yourself, is 2-2-2 the way to play this game? And the short answer to this is yes, it is. It absolutely is. There are certain team comps where you can do like a 3-2-1, but there's only one that really works, and we're not even going to talk about it because it's not better than the team comps I'm about to show you. So there's no need for me to talk about a second rate team comp. I don't care what streamer said this was the best team comp. I don't care what video you watched before. I'm telling you guys, you can find 5 other people to run these team comps with. You will mollywop people that are 3 times better than you. These are dominant. These are not just cool. Oh, we got a little team up here. No, they're fully thought out and they are perfected for the game. Before you can make a video like this, number one, you have to be in high elo, right? I am. And number two, you have to know what actually is working. So what is working in high elo? Dive is working extremely well. Pick getting is working extremely well. So like that sort of toxic style of play of like, oh, I'm gonna get you with my ability that'll put you in a position that you don't want to be in, or I'm gonna get a pick off of you, or I'm gonna hit you with some BS, punishing people or putting people in bad positioning. That's another style of play that has been working very effective. And then the one of the most effective ones is LOS play, which means line of sight, playing behind cover, playing behind your shield tank, that patient play, or being very resilient to the comp that I just named, which is pick getting. If you can make your team very resilient to these little one-trick characters like Wolverine that are only known for getting picks, then you become the team that beats that sort of style of play. So again, a lot of people in this game are having fun with these little pick getters, but they're not actually good enough because there are team comps that are specifically designed to beat those type of characters. So let's get into it. The first team comp that we're going to go over, though, is the dive team comp because it is one of the most effective and it is very aggressive. So let's get straight into it. The first thing that you're going to need to know is Jeff. Jeff is a character where his ultimate not only is the perfect counter ultimate to all of the current comps that we're seeing in the game right now. When a Luna Snow pops her ultimate and everybody feels safe in the bubble, so they all group up together. Whenever Mantis pop her ultimate, so everybody feels safe enough to group up together. Anytime someone decides, oh, my teammate just popped the ultimate, that's going to keep me alive. Jeff says, no, I'm going to capture all of you and put you in a bad position, take you off the objective. I can put my team and save my team from your ultimate, whatever it was going to be, where they don't take any damage and I make myself harder to hit, and they also get healing over time while also in the ultimate, and they benefit from his hide and seek, and he can also put them into a good positioning as well. Or you can actually use him to actually make certain characters who don't have advanced movement now be able to take certain angles that are very aggressive for your team in a dive that you wouldn't normally be able to take unless you had the Jeff ultimate. So Jeff is the perfect anti-meta character to have inside of a dive comp that beats all of the ultimates that people are using to get free picks. He is the character that is very used for this, but not only that, but his little bubble, it bursts, which means you can give your entire team off of one bubble all a healing boost and all a movement boost of 60% movement boost and a 15% healing boost off of one bubble, which means with communication, you can do this for the entirety of a fight. This is very good. On top of this, Jeff has a extremely high survivability rate. He is very hard to kill. He has an unstoppable healing over time, and he can give himself his own healing boost while he's naturally regenerating his own health whenever he is sitting down. And there is tech that you can use to where you can always be proccing damage reduction whenever you're shooting, but wait till my guy come out because then y'all gonna learn how to play this character, but we ain't gonna do all that right now. So Jeff is an extremely great character. He's very simple to play, but there's a lot of depth to this character that makes him very effective. That movement boost alone is comp, especially for your tanks whenever we talk about that. The next character is going to be Luna Snow. Luna Snow and Jeff actually have a team up. Jeff gives Luna Snow a 15% healing boost. That is very important because If you guys watch my Luna Snow video, you know that Luna Snow has the best burst healing in the entire game. When she puts her ice that does not have a cooldown on any player, and it doesn't take long for you to switch from one to the next, you give them a 35% healing boost. If you hit all of that damage, that is 182 healing that you can do immediately to one target. You take 15% of that 182, and now you're doing over 200 healing the moment you click your button twice. That is extremely disgusting. This amount of burst healing that Jeff and Luna Snow are able to put down is disgusting. Now let me make it a little step further. Luna Snow, whenever she puts the 35 healing boost on a target, whether it's a diver or it's Jeff or it's whoever, Jeff can now make it to where, again, the entire team gets a 15% healing boost. So what's 15 plus 35? That is 50, which means you can give someone on a team a 50% healing boost at any point in time that you see their low, and you can communicate this. Jeff can shoot his ability wherever it needs to go, so it has range, and then Luna Snow, she just got to look at you, and then she put the 35. So this means it's extremely easy to make a target that was about to die get a 15% healing boost, make them move faster, which makes them harder to get hit, while also giving them a burst healing from Jeff of 100, because it says 85 but you get the 15 at the same time. So if you put the 35, then you really give them more than 85, and now you're giving them immediate burst of 125. And then if they just shoot at you right after that, they put you back to full health in the matter of half of a second. This is the most disgusting healing burst that you can get in the entire game, and they both play off of each other. And Luna Snow has great survivability. She can proc her own self-sustain. She has great abilities at freezing people. She can keep herself alive in the backline, so you're not scared of divers. She is perfect for this entire team comp. Her ultimate is great. Literally, her ultimate is disgusting. That 40% damage boost, you pair that with a diver, and you're looking at picks. On top of this, there is a team up between Jeff and Luna Snow, where Luna Snow gives Jeff the ability to slow down targets while he's also doing more damage with that ability. This is really good for dive, because anytime you're putting a debuff onto someone that is slowing them down, that makes all of your other characters, the next tanks we're about to talk about, eat even more, because now you can't get away from them, and this makes these two really, really scared together. So these two together are the best burst healing, and they are the best for a dive team, because dive teams have to take damage in order for them to do damage, because you have to get close or you have to dive onto the target. Diving means you make them turn around, or you don't allow them to play a line of sight. You don't allow them to hold a chokehold, because you take angles where they can't do it, which means you either in the air and coming from an angle they're not looking at, or you get them to turn around. Moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the two tanks that make dive complete. Hawk. Hawk is a character that, with the right team comp, he is literally the best dive character in this entire game. No one in this game can escape from a Hawk. It is impossible. He is dang near impossible to kill whenever you're pairing him with this team comp, on top of the fact that he is able to keep himself alive and bring himself back into Hero Hawk literally so fast it's kind of insane. Not only that, but keeping the rest of his team alive with his bubble and himself, making him very hard to kill. And whenever you give him Jeff's movement boost, he is now one of the fastest moving heroes that does guaranteed damage, and he has insta kill combos. But people not ready for that. Wait till I bring that video out. Hawk is essential to this. Not only is his ultimate disgusting at doing a bunch of burst damage and displacing people, which is what you need in a dive comp, but his actual ability to stay alive and do damage and track people and follow people to where they can't escape and be oppressive, and they have to take him out or they die. And since you can't take him out because he has the scariest burst healing in the entire game, and he's moving faster naturally than he would, you can't run away from this character, which also makes his movement even scarier. And he actually can take many different angles of approach to a team like Jeff can, unlike Luna Snow. So now we're building something here. The next character is going to be Venom. Venom, again, with the healing comp abilities of a Jeff and a Luna Snow, he is impossible to kill. But on top of this, he can take angles of approach and displace people that are hiding behind the LOS or that are hiding in the building and just dive in a way that is very, very scary. He can break cover extremely well. His damage output is insane. He is a hit scan character, and when you learn his combos, he can do over 160 bursts instantly to the entire team. But a lot of people don't even know about his true combo, so wait for my guy for him too, because I'm about to bring him out. So Venom is a very disgusting character. He can keep himself alive. His abilities are perfectly on the cooldowns. Whenever you learn his rotation, you can get in, do a bunch of burst damage, and before anyone can kill you, you can get back out. And if you have, again, the Jeff and the Luna Snow both having the ice on you, you can make it to where any healing that you do receive, it's going to keep you even that much more alive. So you don't even have to come off of your ability that keeps you even more alive. He is impossible to kill. And the moment you do finally do enough damage to get him low enough, he just pops his ability. And when you pair him again with the Jeff and the Luna Snow, this tank does not die in this team comp. I don't care how much damage output you thought you was going to be able to do. Jeff can save him, Luna Snow can save him, and he can save himself, and Hawk can even save him. They all work together extremely well. His ultimate is a great engagement starter because the higher that they're held, the more damage that he does to you. I'm going to press you and get you scared and displace you to where you guys can't play together and you're all discombobulated, and now I can go ahead and go off and get a pick here and there and then come back to my team. He is extremely hard to actually keep down. And when you have him causing a ruckus like how he does, and then you pair that with the Hawk who is now cleaning up the kills from all the immediate damage that Venom was doing, now you have two very explosive characters that are now able to keep themselves alive very easily and also do a lot of damage and be impossible to kill. Now, since we talked about them, let's go ahead and talk about your DPS. Star-Lord is the dive character in this game. Star-Lord is a hard counter to Spider-Man. The only reason why Spider-Man is not in here is because Star-Lord is a hard counter to all of his combos and all of his CC stuff. The moment that Spider-Man can make it to where his stuff is a little bit more guaranteed, obviously Spider-Man is still great, and I still have a team comp that's built around him because he is my favorite character to play. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that Star-Lord is not a hard counter to this character. Like, hard counter. Star-Lord's ultimate is disgusting. If you watch my Star-Lord guide, you know that his movement is insane. He has the best movement in the entire game. His damage output is a tank melter, so that's very good for your team. His range is very good as well, and he has the least amount of bad matchups in the entirety of this game. A Star-Lord is disgusting at keeping himself alive and keeping everyone on the entire team oppressed. His ultimate is scary. His abilities are scary. His ability to keep himself alive is scary. And when you pair him with the Jeff, where he moves even faster, now you can't track the character, and he gets a healing boost. And then Luna Snow can put her ice in. Now you do a little bit of damage to him, they immediately keep him back up, and now he's just beaming you for free without him having to worry about anything. This is extremely, extremely scary. A Starlet with the Jeff and a Luna Snow is extremely scary. And whenever you have two tanks that are causing a lot of ruckus like Hawk and Venom, focusing the attention of the team, it allows for him to fly in the sky and rule the skies for free, again, which is what a dive team is supposed to do. You have crossfire, you have different angles of attack, you have the Hulk and the Venom, they're coming in from high ground or they're coming in straight at you, and then they're doing a bunch of damage and you're scared about them and you have to focus them. While they're doing it, you got a Star-Lord attacking your backline, or you got a Star-Lord in the air beaming the tanks with them, helping them to get the damage, and then you got a Jeff in the backline splash damaging everybody. You got the Luna Snow giving everybody heals and also doing a bunch of crazy damage, and now you have multiple different angles of attack, which allows for the Luna Snow to get free picks with her frozen, the Hulk to get free picks with his exile, which allows for the Venom to keep people in combos to where they can now do chains together where you get CC'd to that even if you are 800 damage hero. But we're not going to talk about that because they ain't ready for that. But this allows for you to have multiple angles of attack at the exact same time, which essentially it's a brain overload and you can't stop it. This is what dive truly is. So Star-Lord is very important for this. Now the next pick we already know, since we got my boy Hulk up in here, Iron Man does the exact same thing Star-Lord does, but just with less maintenance. Iron Man's damage output is disgusting, but Iron Man is a hard counter to Psylocke. Psylocke cannot compete with him. Spider-Man can't compete with an Iron Man. Who else can't compete with an Iron Man? Black Panther can't compete with an Iron Man. He can't even get up there to touch him. Iron Man is a hard counter to a lot of these explosive divey characters that a lot of people like to play, where you simply just can't get to him. And whenever you again pair him with a Jeff, where he moves faster and Jeff can heal him a lot easier than a lot of people would think, but most Jeffs just ain't that good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't seen not one comp Jeff yet. But a Luna Snow is very good at keeping a Iron Man alive. And when you pair Iron Man with Hulk, he gets the damage boost from all of that. And while they're doing their thing, causing a ruckus, he's just piercing through everybody. And he can dive with the team. His movement is great. Everything that Iron Man does is essentially made to, while everyone's taking the focus, you're out there flying high in the skies, just getting a bunch of damage and a bunch of pierce. You can play him up close with the team. You can actually dive with them, or you can actually sit back and kind of get your picks where you need to get your picks at. But I would recommend actually diving with him, because if you guys watch my Iron Man advanced guide, I'm the only Iron Man in this entire game that is actually using this character the correct way. No one knows how to dive with Iron Man yet. They're all playing LOS play with him. I'm telling you guys, he is one of the scariest dive characters in this game. Watch my guide so you can learn how the character works. I'm still doing the exact same thing that I was doing before. This allows for Luna Snow to give him free setups for those exact same combos I was showing y'all in that guide. Hulk as well can also give us free combos that does the exact same sort of setup as well. So this allows for literally your entire team to eat, playing off of the CC of two characters. And their cooldowns basically work off of each other. You can pretty much get a pick guaranteed every single 5 to 6, 7 seconds, which is kind of insane for a team comp. And Iron Man's ultimate is great. You can pair his well with the sort of displacement of a Venom ability to kind of set the floor, or to where people can't really counter alt. There's a lot that you can do with an Iron Man to keep him alive in order for you to kind of go crazy. So this is my dive team comp. This is the most effective team comp in this entire game if you are looking to dive onto a team and cause a bunch of confusion and rule the sky. Moving on from dive, let's talk about the next comp here, which is going to be the toxic comp. That's what I call it, because this is truly toxic. You're going to get tilted because it's actually toxic to go against. This is the pick getter comp. This is the BS team comp. This is the comp that's going to make everybody and their mama mad, because no one's going to want to go against this team comp. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Mantis, you can just put her up here. Her damage boost that she can give her team is very disgusting in a team comp. The fact that she can sedate someone and give herself a 340 plus damage combo for free, that's disgusting. Her ultimate is really good at keeping her team alive, but she's also very good at doing damage. This is an off support. She is a DPS character that has the ability to support. She is a DPS character that gives her other team even more DPS. She allows pick getters to do more damage. That is disgusting. Mantis. The next character that we're going to talk about is Luna Snow, another pick getter. Luna Snow is going to get you picked. A lot of people are making team counts just because it looks good on paper, or you put a bunch of team ups together, but it doesn't work, because in all reality, this game's damage output is disgusting when people start targeting. And once people learn that when you start targeting targets, if the other team doesn't have enough healing that they can actually output on their team, or I like to call it the natural cooldown of healing of a team, if your team comp can't out heal that damage output, you're just going to die. One of those examples is, if you ever think that you're going to do good as a team having a Mantis and an Adam Warlock on the exact same team, even though that is a team up ability, both of their heals are trash. They're not really healers. They can't do enough healing, or they have a natural cooldown to where if you are consistent enough, or if you know how to play the game, you can out damage their healing output. That is the biggest issue with that team comp. So any team comp that is built around a Mantis and an Adam Warlock, I don't care how many times you res, you just res just to die right again. Because again, when people start targeting and they do enough burst damage, can the healing output of your characters beat our damage output? This is why you have to have Luna Snow, because Luna Snow allows for that not to happen. I don't care how many times you res. I don't care about Adam Warlock's ultimate. You just gonna res the whole team just for them to die right again, because that's what happens every single time that I go against that trash. I just kill you right back. Thank you for an extra kill. But we're gonna move on. I digress. The next one is going to again be Hawk. You guys gotta wonder why Hawk is in this thing and everybody putting him in C tier, D tier, B tier. Man, this the best character in the game. This character is as easily. He's the best dive character in the game. He's so easy to keep himself alive. He's a carry character. Hawk is disgusting. He is a pick getter. His exile can take people out of the fight. Lunar Snow's freeze can take people out of the fight. Mantis sedation can take people out of the fight. But when you pair again the fact that Lunar Snow can keep him alive so easily, this character becomes a nuisance. He takes all of the attention, and the moment you don't focus him down, he's just going to wreak havoc. He can dive on anybody. You can't escape this character. He's very toxic to play against because a good Hawk can derail your entire team. Your entire team comp. He can displace your entire push. Just one Hawk can do all of that business. And when you pair him with the Mantis damage boost and the passive healing from that with the Lunar Snow as well, and then Lunar Snow give him the 35% healing boost from the Mantis, can just out heal a lot of the damage outputs of a lot of these characters if you're not targeting, which makes him very scary in a 1v1 scenario. You can't kill him in a 1v1. And he's a pick getter because he exiles you and then the whole team can CC stack you. Where's my girl at? Y'all already knew she was gonna be up in here. Y'all already knew. Look, Penny Parker. Penny Parker is a pick getter. She shuts down so many ultimates. She shuts down so many abilities. She can heal herself. She's very scary to deal with. Her left shift is extremely disgusting whenever you learn how to use it the correct way. You can use her ultimate to get you picks. Her ultimate can actually get team wipes. I've already said this in my video guide with her, so just go watch that. I even put a timestamp. You can literally sit here and use her ultimate preemptively and just set up a bunch of nukes in a particular spot, put a web over it, or don't even put a web over it. If you know for a fact that the entire team has to come to the objective, put a bunch of them on the objective, and whenever they get close, boop, you just set off a nuke that is going to do 1500 damage, which by the way is enough damage to where nothing in this game is going to save them outside of an Adam Warlock respawn, which they just gonna die again because they got literally baby health. And if you can't kill the entire team after that, I don't know what to tell you. You better hope one of y'all got out because it's over with for y'all. Y'all dead. Penny Parker's ultimate, her abilities are essentially made for you to do scary burst damage and keep yourself alive. She has insane movement, so you can still kind of play dive with this team comp as well, on top of using her CC to get picks and to shut people out of certain team ups where they group up together and they're riding on top of each other, like the Raccoon and the Groot or the Jeff and the Groot, which is the reason why I'm never talking about that, because even Mantis alone, she can actually sedate both of them at the same time, which is crazy because they're considered one at that point. So both of them get sedated off of just one ability, which is insane. I've done that in the game before. I was like, I didn't even know you can do that. Bucky is a pick getter. This character is great at punishing people that are in bad positioning. He's also very great at pulling people that are in good positioning into bad positioning, which means if you're not playing behind a shield and you peek, you are dead. This character is going to get your team so many cheesy picks, and then you can start a CC chain off of that alone. Every single one of these characters, you do not want smoke in a 1v1 with them because they win 1v1s every single time. No one wants to see a Bucky in a 1v1. If the Bucky's good, you do not want to see him in a 1v1. Every single ability that he hits outside of his little AoE one puts you in the range for him to get a free headshot. That's what real Buckies do. They get free headshots after they hit you with any ability that they do, and then they chain that to where they can do over a guaranteed 500 damage combo, but people still don't know how to play Bucky, so I'm not even going to talk about all that. But Bucky is a pick getter. He will tilt the entire tanks, and he will tilt all of the DPS and the supports if you even think about challenging them in a 1v1. It is what it is. His ultimate is disgusting. We don't even need to talk about it, but you guys know. Now, the next pick is going to be a shocker. I'm telling you guys right now, Squirrel Girl is a carry character. The quickest amount of CC in the entire game. And actually reset the cooldown of her CC immediately. She has extremely good movement that is on a very short cooldown, so she's a very mobile character. Her damage output is literally made to stop shield tanks. Literally made to stop shield tanks. And she's a pick getter. She sits there and she makes it to where you can't move. She has guaranteed damage combos that you cannot escape that are actually tank melters. So she's a tank melter. You just have to learn the combos. This character is perfect for BS. Her ricochet effect, her ability with her even her CC has a ricochet effect, which means she ain't even gotta hit you with it. She could throw it at the wall behind you and then it'll come back and hit you from the back. No pause. Squirrel Girl is a great character. This is a character that is a carry character, and she is very good at getting picks. And you don't even have to always like do anything crazy. Just throw it out. If there's a bunch of people there, one of them gonna get hit. This allows for the Bucky to get a free hook. This allows for the Hawk to get a free exile. This allows for the Penny Parker to get a free CC. This allows for the Mantis to get a free sedation, or the Luna Snow to get a free frozen, and then you get a pick. And again, her damage is exclusively made to stop shield tanks. Hawk's damage is exclusively here to stop shield tanks. Penny Parker's damage is exclusively here to stop a lot of people that are going to try and do the opposite of shield tank play. So you have a team comp that is perfectly made to melt tanks, stop divers, and get picks. This is toxic. This is one of the better team comps. This team comp will actually, I believe, it can beat the dive team comp. If they have the same level of skill, I believe this team comp can kind of go crazy against a dive. Now, Squirrel Girl gonna have a hard time going against an Iron Man, but I've seen it done because her projectile speed and she doesn't have like fall off. Her acorns stay straight pretty much, so you can hit them in the air and you can hit a Star-Lord, and a Star-Lord don't really want to smoke with you up close either, but it's kind of like, well, who got the better skill in that sort of matchup? Now, Bucky, I don't know no Star-Lord that want to smoke with a Bucky, bro, because if he hit you with that hook, it's pretty much over for you. You better hope that you time your little, dive little ability correctly so you get the invulnerability frames. If not, you're dead. These are pick getters. The moment you make a mistake, the moment you're in bad positioning, or even if you're in good position and you weren't paying attention and you're not always playing behind your team, you are dead. And this is very effective. This will carry you to Grandmaster, this team comp. Moving on. LOS, line of sight, or shield tank play, or playing behind shields, or the patient play, or being very resilient at people basically getting picks. This is the team comp that counters the team comp that I just showed y'all. So we kind of going down the line right now. I believe you can't beat this team. If this team is all skilled and they all know their characters, you can't beat them. So the first support we're going to talk about is going to be Rocket Raccoon. He can give his team bonus armor health, which is very good. He can give his team a free res every single 45 seconds. That is an insane ability. But on top of that, his damage output is extremely good up close and medium range. A lot of people are sleeping on this character. This is a carry character in the right hands. He also has the second best healing output in the entire game. He can keep a team alive by himself, and he does it so easily. On top of this, he has the best movement out of all of these strategists, and he is impossible to kill. In the right hands, you cannot kill a good Rocket Raccoon. His ultimate is also extremely good at doing a lot of burst damage, and burst damage or sustained damage is really important when other teams are popping their offensive ultimates to try and, or their healing ultimates to try and make a push with, let's say, a Luna Snow or a Mantis. His ultimate is a great counter ultimate to actually out damage their healing output of those abilities. So that's Rocket Raccoon. But mainly, he is a very resilient character, and he can make your team very resilient. His healing output is the second best in this game, and it's not even close. We have my boy Loki. Loki, a character in the right hands, his healing output is some of the best healing output in the entire game. When he gets to triple stacking that heals, you are not killing his tanks. When he gets to doing damage to your team, this is a DPS character. You pair him with Rocket Raccoon, and these two healers are able to keep their team alive without ever having to worry about your damage output, even if you're targeting their members. You cannot kill a team that has a Loki and a Rocket Raccoon. Loki's left shift is literally the perfect ability that counters pretty much every aggressive ultimate in the game. And it's just an ability. And when you pair that with the fact that Rocket Raccoon can just bring them back to life every 45 seconds, you now have an extremely resilient team comp. So whenever you pair these two together, they are not dying. A Loki, no one wants smoke with Loki in a 1v1. No, no tank, no DPS character, nobody wants smoke with the Loki in a 1v1 because if the Loki is good, you're not killing him. Loki gets to choose from 11 different people of which ultimate he wants to use to counter your ultimate, which makes him the automatic most effective IQ sort of play for any scenario. It doesn't matter what team comp Loki goes against, he is ready to survive it all. One Loki can carry your entire team, healing, damage, and actual ability management wise. A Loki with good ability management is going to carry your entire team. His healing, his damage, and his ability management and his ultimate usage can carry your team. Doctor Strange. He is a very high damage character. His abilities are perfectly made to keep your team alive and keep himself alive, which is very good, which allows for him to be a very resilient character. It's pretty self-explanatory with Doctor Strange. His ultimate is a really great ultimate. His movement is good, so he can kind of do a little bit of dive with them. Rocket Raccoon can definitely dive. Loki can definitely dive. So you kind of have a mixture of, I can just play this team comp for any sort of scenario. But Doctor Strange keeps his teammates alive. Doctor Strange keeps himself alive. Doctor Strange is a great character. You do not want smoke with this character up close as well. He is going to dust your team up. And a good portal, literally alone, can carry a team or ruin another team's push. So that's, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Moving on, we have my boy Magneto. When you have these two tanks are unkillable. You're not ever breaking that sort of LOS shield tank play. Their abilities just work hand in hand perfect with each other. With the rate that Doctor Strange can recharge his shields and the rate that Magneto can recharge his infinite shields, they're literally, you have to dive them. You can't kill them. And then Magneto can keep any one of his teammates alive, or he can keep himself alive. And his damage output is really disgusting. So the damage output of a Magneto, a Doctor Strange, a Rocket Raccoon, and a Loki, when you pair all of that damage together, you have a very explosive team, a very burst damage team, which is what you need if you're going to be playing that LOS shield, patient play, resilient play. Now, you might ask yourself, okay, this team comp not looking like how I thought it was going to look for a LOS shield, patient play, resilient play. What's making them so resilient? Like, I'm not getting it. Now we need to talk about the DPS that makes this team comp fully complete. Hela. Hela is the best DPS character in this entire game. And her and Loki have a team up where he gives her an automatic 20% damage boost. If you already know what Hela is doing, that is disgusting. But not only that, every single time that the Hela gets a kill, the Loki gets armor, or the Loki can be rezzed. This is free. The armor that she can give a Loki is every single time that she gets a kill, and any time that she gets a kill, she can go ahead and rest the Loki. So if the Loki somehow possibly died, which you don't kill Lokis in this game, if they do, they're just a bad Loki. I'm sorry to tell you, but Lokis don't die. They shouldn't die. Hela can just say, boop, get right back in the fight. Rocket Raccoon to any tank or Hela can say, get right back in the fight with his ability to res the team. I mean, res someone on the team. So you can be very aggressive with the Hela and you have a 20% damage boost. This is your LOS play. No Widow, no Hawkeye is gonna want smoke with the Hela that is playing behind a Doctor Strange or a Magneto shield while she has a 20% damage boost with her fire rate. I'm sorry to tell you, but this is how you counter Hawkeye. This is how you counter those people saying, oh, Hawkeye is a must pick. Hawkeye is the, you gotta pick him or if you don't, you're gonna lose the game. Nobody wants smoke with a Hela with the 20% damage boost. She is the best DPS character in the game. And again, she keeps Loki alive and she gives him a bunch of bonus health literally every single time she gets a kill and she can res him for free. That's really effective. This allows for you to save those reses for characters like Doctor Strange, Magneto, or your DPS character. Now the next character that we have for DPS is going to be the Punisher. Why the Punisher? Why not other characters like Bucky here or whatever? Number one, The Punisher's sustained damage is disgusting. But not only that, you need a tank melter in order for your team comp to be very resilient to dive. Because if you can't melt the tanks fast enough, you will not be able to stop dive teams, or you will not be able to stop people that will like to run a bunch of tanks. The Punisher is here to melt your tanks. The Punisher is also here to have the mechanical skill tracking required to actually always out damage all of these other sort of off brand sort of DPS characters, like, for example, anybody who would try to dive into your backline. Nobody wants smoke with a Punisher that can hit his shotguns and that can get the healing of his raccoon or his Loki to save him. Nobody wants smoke against a turret. Nobody wants smoke against a Hela. Spider-Man don't want smoke against a Hela. Black Panther don't want smoke against a Hela. All these little divey characters, they don't want smoke. A Wolverine don't want smoke with a Punisher. A Wolverine don't want smoke with a Hela, and he definitely don't want smoke with a Magneto. I already made that video. And Wolverine don't want smoke with a Doctor Strange. If people think that Doctor Strange loses against a Wolverine, I don't know what you're smoking, but I need some, because that literally doesn't make sense. This character literally has two abilities that literally counter what Wolverine's game plan is. And let's say Wolverine gets a pick, Rocket Raccoon. Okay, we get him back. Okay, now you can go on cooldown for what, 15 seconds? Now, hopefully and truly, your Magneto and your Doctor Strange is better than that, because I don't know how people is dying to Wolverine. That don't make sense to me. The character is a gimmick. The whole character is a gimmick. Once you're prepared for the gimmick, you shut it down. Wolverine gets a pick on a Magneto with a Loki and a Rocket Raccoon. Their healing output is going to beat whatever damage output that Wolverine was doing. So it is what it is. And then the Magneto can keep himself alive. The Doctor Strange can keep himself alive. He can just go ahead and fly out of there and put his shield up while his team is healing him and get himself back to where he needs to be at. While you have the Punisher out here throwing down smoke. Now, another reason why we have the Punisher as a pick here is because him and Rocket Raccoon also have a team up boost. This allows Rocket Raccoon to get a healing boost, but also it allows for the Punisher to have an ultimate that is not an ultimate. That infinite ammo and that fire rate boost is the best team up in the entire game. The damage that you get from that is the equivalent to you actually getting your ultimate as the Punisher, whether you're in infinite ammo AR or if you're in shotgun mode. If you're in shotgun mode, no tank, no healing output is stopping you from getting a kill on whatever it is that you're shooting at. You are going to melt them to death. It is that disgusting. This is an ultimate that is not an ultimate. And since the Punisher has his turret as well, and just his damage like abilities outside of both of these modes, it's disgusting. And then he has an ultimate that is one of the scariest damage outputs in this entire game. You do not want smoke with the Punisher. So these two characters are specifically designed to have extremely good burst healing and extremely good burst damage when you pair them with their counterparts for the support. The Punisher's damage output is disgusting, and when you pair him with the Rocket Raccoon, that sustained damage is enough to stop a lot of these ultimates that just give people a bunch of healing. And he's like, forget your healing, I'm about to do this damage to you. You about to get this work. And then Rocket Raccoon's healing output is also enough to keep an entire team alive by himself. And he can save his DPS from dying if, let's say, they get a pick or whatever. That's fine. The Magneto can save his team. The Doctor Strange can save his team. The Doctor Strange is a good counter ultimate to a lot of ultimates. He's also just a very aggressive ultimate to get your Hela and your Punisher a lot of free picks. So you have ultimates that work really well with each other and everything that your team is going to need. This is the best team comp in this entire game. This is LOS play, this is shield play, this is patient play, this is resilient play. This is, you cannot get picks, because if you think you are going to come against a whirlwind of damage. No one wants smoke with any of these characters up close, which means you're going to have to play far away, and you don't want smoke with any of these characters far away, especially if they're playing behind a shield tank and they have the healing output of a Loki and a Rocket Raccoon. All while at the same time you have to deal with two very aggressive support characters that can beat you in a 1v1 that are impossible to kill. They are very resilient, so any backline character, you ain't doing crap against this backline. This backline got smoke for you and they ready. I don't know why people still not putting respect on the Punisher name. Am I the only one that's playing Punisher the right way? Am I the only one using his grapple tech and using his grenade the right way? Am I the only one actually abusing the fact that people can't see you when you're doing all this stuff? Am I the only one actually switching modes depending on the range that I'm trying to be effective in? Am I the only one playing my character with Rocky Raccoon? Am I the only one able to take any line of sight possible, any high ground away from somebody? You can use this attack defense, or you can use it as a dive comp if you wanted to. This team can do it all. They literally have everything you need in order to do everything you need. All I'm going to say is you use these top 3 team comps that I'm showing you now, you will absolutely find success. I don't really care if you don't agree. Wait till you're going to have to see me. These team comps are disgusting, man. They're fully thought out. They're fully complete. They're made to have the least amount of bad matchups, and you will not be able to beat this team. It's your boy Zooko, man. These are the top 3 team comps in your game. It is what it is, man. Peace.